Demios' form flickered. "I am Ares," he insisted. "And you are a worthless girl. I knew you would fail me. Now you will suffer my wrath." I wanted to charge in and fight Demios, but somehow I knew it wouldn't help. Clarice had to do it. This was her worst fear. She had to overcome it for herself. "Clarice!" I said. She glanced over and I tried to hold her eyes. "Stand up to him!" I said. "He's all talk. Get up!" I can't." "Yes, you can. You're a warrior. Get up!" She hesitated. Then she began to stand. "What are you doing?" Ares bellowed. "Grovel for mercy, girl!" Clarice took a shaky breath. Very quietly she said, "No." "What?" She raised her sword. "I am tired of being scared of you." Demios struck, but Clarice deflected the blow. She staggered, but did not fall. "You're not Ares," Clarice said. "You're not even a good fighter." Demios growled in frustration. When he struck again, Clarice was ready. She disarmed him and stabbed him in the shoulder. Not deep, but enough to hurt even a godling. He yowled in pain and began to glow. "Look away," I told Clarice. We averted our eyes as Demios exploded in the golden light, his true godly form, and disappeared. We were alone except for the petting zoo goats, which were tugging at our clothes, looking for snacks. The motorcycle had turned back into a horse-drawn chariot. Clarice looked at me cautiously. She wiped the straw and sweat from her face. "You didn't see that. You didn't see any of that." I grinned. "You did good." She glanced at the sky, which was turning red behind the trees. "Get in the chariot," Clarice said. "We still got a long ride to make." A few minutes later, we reached the Staten Island ferry and remembered something obvious. We were on an island. The ferry didn't take cars, or chariots, or motorcycles. "Great," Clarice mumbled. "What do we do now? Ride this thing across the Veranzio Bridge?" We both knew there wasn't time. There were bridges to Brooklyn and New Jersey, but either way it would take hours to drive the chariot back to Manhattan, even if we could fool people into thinking it was a regular car. Then I got an idea. "We'll take the direct route." Clarice frowned. "What do you mean?" I closed my eyes and began to concentrate. "Drive straight ahead. Go!" Clarice was so desperate that she did not hesitate. She yelled, "Yeah!" and lashed the horses. They charged straight towards the water. I imagined the sea turning solid, the waves becoming a firm surface all the way to Manhattan. The war chariot hit the surf, the horses' fiery breath smoking all around us, and we rode the tops of the waves straight across New York Harbor. We arrived at Pier 86 just as the sunset was fading to purple. The USS Intrepid, Temple of Ares, was a huge wall of gray metal in front of us, the flight deck dotted with fighter aircraft and helicopters. We parked the chariot on the ramp, and I jumped out. For once, I was glad to be on dry land. Concentrating and keeping the chariot above the waves had been one of the hardest things I'd ever done. I was exhausted. "I'd better get out of here before Ares arrives," I said. Clarice nodded. "He'll probably kill you on sight." "Congratulations," I said. "I guess you passed your driving test." She wrapped the reins around her hand. "About what you saw, Percy? What I was afraid of? I won't tell anybody." She looked at me uncomfortably. "Did Phobos scare you?" "Yeah. I saw the camp in flames. I saw my friends all pleading for my help, and I didn't know what to do. For a second I couldn't move. I was paralyzed. I know how you felt." She lowered her eyes. I guess I should say." The word seemed stuck in her throat. I wasn't sure Clarice had ever said thank you in her life. "Don't mention it," I told her. I started to walk away. "Percy," Yeah? When you, had that vision about your friends? You were one of them, I promised. Just don't tell anybody, okay? Or I'd have to kill you. A faint smile flickered across her face. See you later. See you. I headed off towards the subway. It had been a long day, and I was ready to get home.